So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. In today's video, we finally have our first big trade of the offseason. Alex Caruso has been traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Josh Giddey heading back to the Chicago Bulls. And today we got the Thunder rebuild. I am very much aware that we just did a Thunder rebuild last week. It's actually almost always how these things work out. I do a rebuild of a certain team and then they immediately make a big trade that requires me to then make another rebuild of them. So nobody's mad. We're doing another Thunder rebuild. They are obviously a super fun young team with tons of assets to rebuild. And this was an A-plus trade by Sam Presti. Josh Giddey just seemingly kind of never really fit very well once that core kind of established themselves. He obviously had some off-court drama that we're not really going to get into right now. But Alex Caruso is the exact kind of player that this team is looking for. He does not have to have the basketball in his hands to be a really, really effective player. And I think he could possibly be the final key to this Oklahoma City team winning it all. I always love when huge blockbuster trades kind of go down. Now, we are obviously waiting for the NBA draft right now, so we're in the middle of no man's land. But if there's any other rebuilds you want to see, let me know down below in the comment section. Yes, we will be doing the Josh Giddey Bulls version of this tomorrow. And we'll talk about the trade a little bit more once you get into the video. But yeah, anything else you guys really want to see up until the NBA draft, let me know down below. Let's get into this one. Big thank you to all of you if you stuck through my Thunder rebuild last week, and even bigger thank you if you stick through this one as well. I understand it's very much repetitive. It's just the way these things go for me, pretty much 10 times out of 10. So let's talk about this roster. I will try to make it short and sweet. We've obviously already had a long-term discussion about it, and there's no reason to kind of repeat a bunch of points. SGA second in MVP voting this year. 25-year-old superstar. He's going to be the face of the franchise for a very long time coming. Cason Wallace, very excited to see him get an even bigger role next season with this team. Very, very solid defensive guard. I think there's a lot of upside there offensively as well. And again, at only 20 years old, there is still obviously a lot of potential to unlock. All right, the shooting guard spot. Man of the hour. This is his rebuild, Alex Caruso. 30 years of age. He is an 80 overall. Obviously one of the best defensive guards in basketball. He is somebody that, as I just talked about in the intro, does not necessarily need the ball in his hands to be a really effective player. So I'm very excited about this deal. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder are likely going to extend him very shortly. Maybe they already have by the time you're watching this video. But for me, he's somebody who feels like he could be possibly the missing piece to what this team is honestly looking for. Obviously good veteran presence, won a championship back in 2020. Very, very excited to see him on a contending team instead of stuck in the hellhole that is the Chicago Bulls. No offense, Bulls fans. All right, Isaiah Joe, Lindy Waters III. These are players that certainly can have places in the rotation. Obviously, I would prefer Isaiah Joe just a little bit right now with 3 overalls higher, that really solid three-point shooting. So I'm very excited about him as a depth piece. Lu Dort, him and Caruso defensively is going to be absolutely insane to see. I am very, very excited to see it happen, but I love Lu Dort. If there's a little bit more consistency offensively, I would be more than fine having him as my long-term small forward. I'm not saying I'm trading him or anything like that, but as of now, Lu Dort is the guy there at that 3. Gordon Hayward was a miss. Everybody knew that. Sam Presti came out and said it was a miss. He is not going to be back with this team, so that backup small forward is certainly something we're going to address. Power forward spot, Jalen Williams. Whether you think he's the second or third best player on this team, he is young and he is very, very good. Jalen Williams is going to be, my number 2, number 3 for the entirety of this video. I'm pumped. I think the sky is the absolute limit with him. He is going to be good for a very long time. All right, Aaron Wiggins, Kenrich Williams, Ousmane Dieng, all not bad pieces whatsoever. They're certainly all good enough to be in this rotation. Now, there is a lot of depth here, clearly, so we're going to have to figure something out on top of the fact we still do have the 12th overall pick, which I don't really know who I'm going to take. We're going to figure it out, whoever's sitting there. And then the center spot, Chet Holmgren, fantastic rookie season. He's only 22 years old. If we put on a little bit more weight, I think he'd be even better, but ultimately, he's only 22. He's going to get even better than he already was. And then Jalen Williams, Biyombo, Muscala, all kind of just rotation pieces for me. So, Mark Daigneault obviously sitting here. Fantastic head coach. Very excited to have him moving forward in this video. Let's head up to the draft. We do have the 12th overall pick. This is not a prospect rebuild, so I'm just going to take whoever is there at 12. I'm not making sure the draft order is 100% correct. We will take a look together. It was Reza Shea, Sarr, Topic, you get it. Who really cares at this point? So Ron Holland is sitting here. Feels like it could be a smart pick. Dalton Connect, not Dalton Knight, also is sitting here as well. Jared McCain, Zach Edey. I think I'm between Connect and Holland right now. I think just from like a physicality standpoint, there's a little more upside with Holland, but Connect might be the better player already. Oh, man. I think I'm going to take Holland. I don't really take Ron Holland too much. I can play him at the backup 4. I can play him at the backup 3. He's going to be my guy right there. Yes, as I'm sure you can see, some of the names are obviously wrong. They always are. All right, so Holland is a 76 overall. I'm not exactly sure where we're going to plug him in, but we will certainly look to get him some minutes. Not going to qualify any of those 3 players. Now we enter free agency, where Gordon Hayward's really kind of our only free agent. This team does have a little bit of spending power, and as I'm sure many of you are probably aware, Isaiah Hartenstein is very much rumored to be in the interest of the Oklahoma City Thunder, as they need more size, obviously, guys that can play low in the post. I think he'd be a fantastic fit, and much like my rebuild with the Thunder last week, I'm not going to sign him right now. I think he would be a great addition in real life. Here in 2K, I don't think the impact is really going to be nearly as much as the price tag would ultimately cost us. So he's a great player. He's going to get paid a lot of money this year in free agency, whether it's the Thunder, the Knicks, third different team, whatever it is. He just doesn't really fit what I'm looking for right now here in 2K. So nothing wrong with him. I just think that's kind of the best path we're going to take right now. So I might have 1 or 2 kind of somewhat big trades. Another player that the Oklahoma City Thunder are rumored to possibly be interested in is Lauri Markkanen. Obviously, his emergence as kind of a number 1 option in Utah has made a lot of eyeballs trend over to his direction, and he really could be a fun player to add to this team. Obviously, brings in some size, brings in some more scoring, and definitely brings in some more spacing. So I'd love to add Lauri Markkanen. He's an expiring contract. Ultimately, all the players that we're offering here were probably going to be on their way out, whether it was this offseason, next offseason. I'm just looking to make upgrades because I do think this team is a serious contender. So this is what I'm offering right now. It is Wiggins, Waters, Williams, and Jang. Jang, there's certainly a decent amount of upside there, but ultimately for a guy like Lauri Markkanen, who's going to help this team win now, I'm certainly willing to give him up in a deal. So let's see. Okay. That was about as easy as it gets. All right, so I think the smart move here would be to play Markkanen at the 4 and play J-Dub at the 3. I mean, 6'5" versus 7 feet is really a tough one not to kind of switch those up. I mean, I understand they're both on the court, but what happens to Markkanen's overall power forward? He actually goes up, and so does J-Dub. So that makes a lot of sense to me. Also, I move Ron Holland to the small forward spot. I'm going to move him back to the power forward spot. And then ultimately at this point, we have our 10-man rotation, and I'll just see you guys at the start of year number 1. Start of year 1 for us here in Oklahoma City. In terms of this offseason, we obviously went ahead and made one other major trade outside of the Alex Caruso move, that being the addition of Lauri Markkanen. I think he's going to fit on this team very, very well. Obviously not maybe known as his, a lockdown defender or anything like that, but as we talked about, adds a little bit more scoring, definitely adds a little bit more size and even more spacing. So very excited about what this team can be heading into our first season. We got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, an MVP candidate here, as our starting point guard. You do see Caruso's overall kind of go down one. It sucks. It's unfortunate. It's just how 2K works. Jalen Williams moves to the 3. Got Lauri Markkanen next to him at the 4. And then Chet Holmgren, our 23-year-old, 22-year-old, however the hell old he is, superstar center. Bench unit, I do feel a little bad because I kind of talked about how I wanted Lou Dort to be my starting 3 in year 1 and how exciting it would have been to watch him and Caruso defensively at the 2 and the 3. But when you got Markkanen for, just a bunch of guys that weren't really going to be in the rotation, you kind of had to do it. All right, we got Cason Wallace here as our backup point guard, Isaiah Joe, Jalen Williams, and then Ron Holland getting 10 minutes a night. So that is the team. I mean, again, that is a very, very solid 1 through 10. There's really no weaknesses anywhere, so I fully expect this team to be back in the mix for the 1 seed in the West and hopefully have a little bit of a longer playoff run this year. See you guys at the end of year 1. We had really high expectations heading into this first season, and we met, if not exceeded, those expectations. 67-15. That is the record here at the end of year 1 as Nikola Jokic wins yet another MVP. Alex Sarr is your Rookie of the Year. He is a wizard. You got Josh Hart winning Sixth Man of the Year in New York. Wemby is your depoy. Walker Kessler. Did I see a report that he could be a possible trade target for a couple teams? Like, why would Utah want to move on? He's young. I don't know. Julius Randle, Clutch Player of the Year, interesting. And then Mark Daigneault does win Coach of the Year at 67-15. So we're very pleased right now. But to be fair and to be honest, this was a 1 seed last year. And obviously only going to the second round of the playoffs was a little disappointing for the Thunder, even though they're young, exciting. I get it all. So we have even further expectations in terms of the playoffs this year. Let's dive into the numbers real quick. SGA was fantastic. Definitely was an MVP candidate. Once again, 27.5 points a game, about 6 rebounds, 8 assists. He was great. Lauri Markkanen kind of emerging as our second option. Completely cool with me. I mean, we had 4 guys that were 18.5 plus points per game, which is just really fantastic to see. Alex Caruso, only about 6, 3.5, and 6. 2 steals a game, though. He's about 41% from the field, but ultimately, we've talked about it. You all know it. He does not need to have the ball in his hands to be effective. You get it. All right, first round of the playoffs here. It is us and the Dallas Mavericks. Wow, Mavericks obviously were the Western Conference champions last year. It looks like they have moved on from P.J. Washington. They did add C.J. McCollum, though. Okay, not really sure. And Tyus Jones. A lot of guards on that team. Interesting. All right, we quickly go up 2-0 on Dallas. We go up 3-0, and we sweep. Okay. This is what happens when you get to use the Demon Thunder here in 2K, because I'm sure, as many of you understand, they are the biggest pain in the ass in the world, but gotta finally get to use them. And the second round matchup, not getting any easier here with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Team made it all the way to the West Finals last year. We have them here in round 2, and we are quickly up 3-0 on them. And are we just the best team in the world? We might be. What a gauntlet run, though, by the way. I mean, we're not getting any easy opponents in any round whatsoever, as now we have Denver here in the Western Conference Finals, still yet to lose a game. Oh, my God. What the fuck? All right, well, it is us in the Cleveland Cavaliers here in the NBA Finals. I'm a little shocked. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I knew we were going to be good. I didn't think we were going to be this good. We're up 2-1 right now, up 3-1. We're heading back to OKC for what could be the final game of this season. Can we get it done? I'd surely like to. And oh my God. Look at that third quarter. Look at that third quarter. Insane. Nobody's ever said that the Thunder were a challenging rebuild. I understand if those of you that were, looking for something a little bit more challenging, maybe this wasn't the video for you, but let's be honest, the Thunder are going to be really good next year, whether they make a Lowry marketing trade as well or not. So I certainly like harder rebuilds, and as soon as the draft happens, they are definitely going to come. But because people say it all the time, like, I need some harder, more challenging rebuilds, and I get it. I can't control what trades happen, unfortunately. But tomorrow we'll have a hard one because that's the Bulls, and they are a dumpster fire. And so I guess let's just talk about the trade, the first kind of big trade of the offseason here that was between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Chicago Bulls. From the perspective of the Thunder, I mean, I give them an A+ on this deal. They ultimately kind of knew Josh Giddey wasn't a good fit with their team anymore. Obviously decided that they were ready to move on, have a new shooting guard, new backcourt mate next to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And they went out and struck fast, and they got the guy that I think fits really, really well with this team in Alex Caruso. So the fact that they also didn't have to give up a single draft pick makes it even better. I mean, Sam Presti has about 1 million of them, and he didn't have to give up not even a single second-round pick to get this deal done. So really, really good job by him. Thunder are going to be really good for a very, very long time. And from the Bulls' perspective, we'll talk about this more in tomorrow's video, but I give them credit for trying to get somebody, younger, because, I mean, Josh Giddey, whether you like him or you hate him, what is he, like 4th most triple-doubles before turning like 23, whatever the hell it was? It's like Ben Simmons, Magic Johnson, and somebody else is in there. So, I mean, Josh Giddey is never going to be a superstar player. I don't think anybody, is of that opinion anymore, but he's somebody that certainly has some youth and still has some potential to unlock. So I give the Bulls credit for doing that, but I feel like there were also teams that might have been willing to give you, a decent draft pick this year. So I don't know, maybe they're super high on Josh Giddey. I'm not necessarily super high on him. I do think he has a role on a team somewhere, more so than he had with Oklahoma City. But to not get a single, even second-round pick back for a guy that probably had interest from, like, majority of the teams in the league and Alex Caruso, kind of insane. So maybe the Bulls are just super high on Josh Giddey. They are one dysfunctional organization right now, so hopefully things can kind of turn around there. But I expect a fire sale for the Bulls this offseason. I certainly do not expect them to kind of run it back with that group. So I am just saying what I think. So Alex Caruso, let's just end the game right here with him, as we are about to score 158 fucking points. That's a foul. All right, good night. Championship year 1 is official. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is your finals MVP. Obviously, it was not a very stressful postseason run, as LeBron James calling it a career. Just kind of the way it goes sometimes, and that's fine by me. We still have 2 seasons to go, though. All right, it is the draft lottery. I know some of these protections on these picks are all sorts of effed up, so I will make sure I get it right. Oh my God, the Spurs have the top 2 picks. We have number 8 from Utah. We definitely have the Clippers pick. That dates all the way back to the Paul George trade. And then it looks like we maybe have one more at 28. So all things considered, not too bad. Definitely want to get Mark Daigneault back. Let's go ahead and just offer him a deal to hopefully remain our head coach. And he does just that. So up to the draft, I do not think we should have the Utah pick technically. I think that we probably, let me confirm that, but I'll see you guys in the draft. Outside of our lottery pick, we have 3 other picks that I wasn't really planning on using, so we're going to send them to the Phoenix Suns for some future draft assets. As you can see, it's number 28 overall in round 1, and then 11 and 21 in round 2, along with a different future second. On top of that, we do not get to keep the Utah Jazz pick. It was protected 1 through 10. It's unfortunate, but it kind of just is what it is at this point. So we do have the 9th overall pick from the Clippers. Now, I don't necessarily expect, whoever we take here is going to be somebody that's getting a shit ton of minutes on this team. Ultimately, it is really hard with the way this roster is kind of built right now. VJ Edgecombe, 78 overall, feels like it could be a good pick. So, you know what? He's going to be my guy there. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with him. Maybe could get minutes, maybe he doesn't. I don't really know. Because the weird thing about this is that, yes, this is an Alex Caruso rebuild, but it also feels like I would kind of be smart if I went ahead and, you know, maybe just added somebody to be a little bit of an upgrade there. So Caruso's not going to go anywhere. That's for sure. But I would maybe like to make a long-term upgrade at that shooting guard spot. So we re-signed all three of our guys right here, and I think we might have one trade coming. Some of you might get mad at me for this, but I want to pull off a blockbuster trade. I want to add Tyrese Maxey to this team, and ultimately all of these guys have to be in here to make the money work and to make the value work. So Lou Dort, who I think is going to be a really, really good player in this league for a long time, is going to be in this trade mostly to make the money work, but ultimately he moved to a bench role, a diminished spot on the team. And while I do think he's still effective as a 6th, 7th man, whatever it was going to be, Tyrese Maxey is just leaps and bounds better. So he's going to take over, hopefully, as our new starting shooting guard. There's a couple other different things we could maybe add to this deal, like you just take the draft picks. Thank you. All right, so Philadelphia 76ers agreed to that. We now have Tyrese Maxey on this team as well, and him and SGA in a backcourt together is going to be insane. Yes, this is still going to be called an Alex Caruso rebuild, but we know how 2K's regression system works, so I expect him to be even lower overall next season, and we have another championship to try to win. So now I'm in the market for some sort of backup small forward. Dante Exum, Marjon Beauchamp feels like he could be maybe a low-risk, high-reward kind of guy at only 23, 24 years old. So let's go ahead and make him an offer. There's also a possibility. Who are the power forwards here? Yeah, I'm just going to go with Beauchamp. So welcome to the team, Marjon. Hopefully, thank you very much. See you guys at the start of year number 2. God Squad feels like it would be underrating how good this team is right now. This is the really scary part about the Oklahoma City Thunder moving forward, is just how flexible they are in terms of their assets and their spending power and just the young talent they have on their team. Because whether you like it or not, there's going to be a star player that eventually goes on the trade block, whatever you want to call it. And I'm not really sure if there's going to be a team that can outbid the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, there's pretty much a 0% chance that star player is Tyrese Maxey, but I'm just using him as an example kind of for what we're doing right now. I mean, this team has money. They obviously have draft picks, and there's young talent. It's literally everything that a trade partner could want with the Oklahoma City Thunder. So that's just kind of why I'm just giving a whole speech right now, but this team is fucking insane. SGA, Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Williams, Larry Marketing, Chet Holmgren, bench unit. Alex Caruso didn't really go down as many overalls as I thought, but I'm still not mad about adding Tyrese Maxey. Cason Wallace, Ron Holland, Jalen Williams, and Marjon Beauchamp. So we're maybe a little bit more top-heavy now, but that's not to say that the bench is bad, because it's certainly not. This team is definitely an absolute fucking problem, and I fully expect a 67-ish plus win season again. So see you guys at the end of year 2. Everything's coming up Thunder. SGA's your MVP. We go 75-7. I don't really know. Cooper Flagg's your rookie of the year. He is a San Antonio Spur. Him and Wemby in the same front court would be absolutely terrifying. Jonathan Kuminga, now a Clipper, is your 6th man of the year. They've traded him somewhere else, and they still can't get him in the starting lineup. God, I'm starting to feel bad for him. Another depoy for Wemby. James Wiseman, now most improved player. Jalen Brunson, clutch player of the year. And 75-7 is certainly enough for coach of the year from Hart Dagnall. So this team's insane. I mean, there's really no other way around it. We were 20 games up on the 2 seed here. I mean, we're just so much better than everybody. I would be disappointed if we didn't win another championship at this point. So here's some of the splits all across the board. We had 5 guys averaging 17-plus points per game, which is just insane when you kind of think about it. But this team is fucking ridiculous. All right, it is the New Orleans Pelicans here in round 1. Zion and Ingram are certainly talented. This team just doesn't move me nearly enough to worry about it. So that's a sweep. It is now the Lakers here. LeBron James has retired, and they replaced him with Tobias Harris. Good for you. Don't really think it's going to help. Now on to the West Finals. It is Luka and Kyrie. You got it, Isaac Okoro. Still got Omax and Vucevic now over Derek Lively. That's a choice. It's not a good one. Let's head into the NBA Finals right now. We're taking on the Pistons. What? I don't really know. Okay, another Finals MVP for SGA. There's really not much more to do with this team. I'll just do one more season because I'm sure people like it. I don't really fucking know, but there's not really going to be many major changes. So we'll hit the draft lottery one more time. Oh my God, that Clippers pick! Holy shit, that's insane. Well, it fell to 5, but it's still a very, very good, valuable pick. Honestly, maybe I make one more trade to upgrade this bench a little bit. I guess. We're drafting somebody at number 5 because I don't have the money to make a really big and kind of fun deal work. So Bryson Tilley, Drake Powell, I don't really know. Darren Peterson. Koa Pete, I feel like I know that name. Koa Pete, welcome to me. I don't know. I mean, again, he's probably not staying on the team. 78 overall. I'm just looking for a small upgrade off the bench, and I don't necessarily even need it. But there's nothing else to really do right now with this team, so I have to do something. J-Dub has a bunch of different offers. I'm just going to pay him. We are also going to pay Chet Holmgren. I mean, let's just get this over with. All right. All three of those guys under contract heading into our final season, and I still do believe that one trade to maybe upgrade the bench a little bit would be beneficial. So now let's see what I can come up with. From a long-term outlook, this probably isn't a smart trade, but as we enter our final regular season, I want this team to be as good as possible. Koa Pete, Marjan Beauchamp are being offered to the Washington Wizards for Denny Avdia, and they agree to it. I don't know. I mean, there wasn't a ton of players that were making, a reasonable amount of money that I could actually trade for. So Denny Avdia will now come into this team, be J-Dub's backup, and there's nothing else we're going to do as we head into our final regular season. Look, there's not really a lot to talk about right now. This team won 75 games last year, maybe lost 1 or 2 games in the playoffs, and they are just as good, if not better, than they were last year. So let's see how it's going to look. SGA, Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Williams, Larry Markkinen, Chet Holmgren, insane death lineup, 1 through 5. Bench unit, new addition here in Denny Avdia as my 6th man. I mean, who really cares? Cason Wallace, Alex Caruso, Ron Holland, and Jalen Williams. So that's the team. I mean, obviously, it's pretty talented, and I know sometimes videos like this get a little boring, so I'll try to make it quick, and I'll see you guys at the end of year number 3. 76-6, SGA won another MVP. I mean, nobody's surprised at this point. Elsie Harrington, your Rookie of the Year. Rob Dillingham, Wemby, Colby Jones, Devin Booker. Yeah, I mean, we kind of get it at this point. All right, let's dive into the standings. 21 games up on the 2 seed. I mean, we're just so much better than everybody. It's not even really close. And this kind of dominance, I think, would be a safe bet to say has never happened in the NBA before. So, rebound, Chet Holmgren, assist, SGA. I'm just going to go through this relatively quickly because I don't think it really matters who's in front of us. I think we're going to kick the living shit out of everybody. So, on to the West semifinals, Houston Rockets. Pretty good team. They somehow can't figure out how to get Jalen Green into the starting lineup. Stupid is as stupid does. Sweep through them. Now, the 6-seed Warriors still... Oh, my God. Kevin Durant's back in Golden State. I'm not worried about it, but I'm just saying it's insane to see. Like, you never see that. So, KD and Steph, one final ride. Not enough, though. All right, it is, oh my God, Jason Tatum is a Bull. And the Chicago Bulls with Jalen Suggs, Jason Tatum, Kel Ware, Kobe White. I mean, pretty damn good. We're just, thanks. All right, well, obviously when teams get this good and, we put together rosters that are this talented, it's never really, the most exciting thing or, the most, there's not a lot of build-up because we were fucking dominant from day one, and it's just the way things go. It will not be the case in tomorrow's video when we do the Josh Giddey Bulls rebuild, but no, this was a good, fun video to kind of kick off our first major trade of the summer. It's the NBA. There are literally trades. It feels like there's a big trade like once every 2-3 weeks in the summer in the NBA. So I love it. You love it. That's why we watch, and that's why we make the videos that we do. So I had a blast with this one. Thunder fans, congratulations on your deal. I don't know if you're more happy about adding Caruso or getting rid of Josh Giddey, but nonetheless, congratulations. You guys are going to be really good for years to come. So Bulls fans, I'll try to help you out tomorrow. Of course, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.